Okay, let me get rid of this. I don't know what that is. So who am I? Like I said, my name is David Kushner. I've been trading the markets for over 25 plus years. I trade stock options, I trade futures, I trade Forex. My background was I had an automotive parts business that I started when I was 18 years old. Had that business for 28 years before I sold it in 2005. And ever since then, I've been a full-time trader. So like most of you probably have a whole shelf or hard drive full of indicator trading systems that came with a lot of empty promises of helping you become more profitable and more consistent trader. So I know that I probably have 4 hard drives full of trading stuff that I no longer use, don't even know what's on those hard drives, and spent a small fortune. So when I saw the webinar that Mark Sachs did, and I saw the money flow tracker software for the first time, I quickly realized that this methodology isn't based around the same old indicators that everybody else teaches, but it's more based on mathematical modeling and triple and quadruple screen analysis. Now, I only trade with institutional money flow. So whenever I talk about order flow or money flow, I'm only talking about institutional order flow or money flow. And it's made me much more profitable and much more consistent trader. And now I'm running over a 70% win-loss rate. Now, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the questions box, and I'll be more than happy to answer every one of them. And Roy will probably be answering them also. Okay, so the agenda for this webinar is how the money flow tracker software works, the high probability setups, the unbreakable rules to follow, how I trade breakouts and sidestep losing trades, the money flow tracker auto trader, and how I pass the evaluation to become a funded trader. So those who stay to the end of this presentation, it's about 45 minutes. I try to keep it within the hour. We have a very, very special discount plus some additional software for quick action bonus. So why are you here? I ask myself that question all the time. Well, you're probably here because you're not getting the results you want yet. So you're not here to waste time, right? I'm not here to waste your time, and you're not here to waste my time. You're not here to waste your money, and you're sick of buyer's remorse. So what does that mean, sick of buyer's remorse? Means that you buy a system, you trade it for a couple weeks or whatever, you initially start off making money, and then the prohibitive losses come and you can't make money with that system anymore. So you throw it out, like throwing out the baby with the bathwater, and you look for the next system, the next shiny object. Well, I'm here to tell you, as a trader that's been trading a long time, there is no shiny object. There is no holy grail. There's one system. Pick one system and be efficient with that one system. I did this over 4 years ago. I purchased the money flow tracker software, and I haven't bought anything else for trading since then. So I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to buy this system. This is going to be my last system that I buy, and that was 4.5 years ago. Hold on a second. So people say, show me a solution. You want hit consistent winning trades. Now you can't have every trade be a winner. If you think that if you're here because you think that every trade can be a winner, it's not possible. You want solid performance that repeats daily. You want consistency. And the markets are here for us to extract money from it every day. But I always say, patience is the key. So you need 4 things to create trading success. The first thing you need is the software to provide you with a competitive edge over all other traders. The second thing is you need that edge to track the direction of money flow, institutional money flow. The third thing is etched in stone rules to follow, and this will eliminate discretion. I believe that rules-based systems are the best systems to follow for most people. And the fourth thing, which I just said, I believe is the most important thing, is patience. Patience to let the trade set up. So I'm going to break down the system to you in detail, but let me just show you a few trades that we've taken. This was an options trade on AMC for 139%. Here was another options trade on GME for 188%. Here was a trade on 30-year bonds, 41 ticks, $1,281. I paid for my software with this trade. The euro, 56 ticks. I could sit here and show you charts and charts and charts, but is that going to help you? No. So it's likely you're here because you have a problem making money. Why? You don't have the proper tools to officially manage your trades. You overtrade. You revenge trade. That's a big one. And you make impulsive decisions. You lack consistency. You trade with indicators that lag price. And you lack a mathematically proven trade methodology. And all these things lead to blowing up trading accounts. Believe me, I've blown my share of trading accounts. So my commitment to you for coming here and listening to my webinar, I'm very passionate about trading and I love trading, and I like teaching people to trade. People ask me, well, if you're making so much money in the markets, why are you doing what you're doing? And I tell them, because I know how it is to be a struggling trader. And it's not fun. So if I can help somebody become a profitable trader, it just makes me feel better. Makes me feel good that I helped somebody. So my commitment to you is to bring this to an end. So why do they say that 95 to 98% of traders go broke? Use the following: price action, MACD, Elliott wave, divergence, price patterns, Fibonacci's, and GANs. None of these things have any future predictive properties. And I am not, and I'm going to repeat this, I am not saying that the money flow tracker can predict the future. Because first of all, nothing can predict the future. And second of all, that wouldn't be true. And I'm not going to say something that's not true. If you know how to trade price action, people make money can trade price action, but most people don't make money with all these things. So I was listening to a webinar that Mark's actually, just like you're listening to me. And Mark has over 35 plus years in the study of the field of applied mathematics. He was a professor at Jefferson University, and after 8 long years, he engineered the software system and trade methodology that can improve your trade performance, called the Money Flow Tracker. And we have over 500 traders that we trade shoulder to shoulder every day between our 3 trade rooms. So before we get started, I'd like to share with you my trade journal. Sorry if my voice is a little hoarse. I don't know. I just it is tonight for some reason. So I use this trade journal. It's called EdgeWomp, and every day I go to NinjaTrader, I download my trades into an Excel file, and then I click on this little button here, and right here, and I upload the file. And what this does is it imports into my trade journal. This is the NinjaTrader trade ID. It entry date, exit date, instrument, P&L, and everything is in here. This is my equity curve. All right, this is my equity curve for 2025. Now, the last few months, the markets have been extremely choppy, very difficult to trade, but we still made money. So let's see. This was June. Okay, and what we did was in June, we made $10,585. But if you look at June, we didn't trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So why didn't we trade these days? Because these days were choppy and we didn't get setups. Right? Let's go back to May. Right? We didn't trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was on vacation this day. 10, 11 days. 11 days still did, well, we only did 2,700 that month. just because I was not here. But the point I'm getting to is you don't have to trade every day to make money. When we have days that we don't have setups and we have no trade days, that means we didn't get a setup. That means we didn't lose money and we didn't make any money. But the chances are, if you would have tried to trade these days, you would have lost money. So if I go back and I look at every month, so here's April. We had some losing days, but they're small losing days, 150, 125, 190, 82, 67. We had one day, $4,000 day, right? So it just goes to prove you don't have to trade every day to make money in the market. Let's see, here is our analysis by day. So this goes back 6 months right now. So look at how many winning days we've had and look how many small losing days we've had. All right, so I don't want to spend too much time on this because I could talk about this forever. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. This way you see what my trade results are, and I'm transparent. So the market consists of many small retail traders represented by these marbles, plus one or more large institutional trader represented by the big purple ball. Well, if we already know that most retail traders lose money, why would you want to trade along with the retail traders? We don't. We want to trade with institutional order flow. So we want to trade with the institutions because ultimately they're the ones that move the market. So the money flow tracker software has 3 key metrics that determine money flow. What did I say? Institutional money flow, right? Triple screen assessment of correlated markets using our AI engine, triple screen assessment of order flow, and triple screen assessment of the LIQUIDITY for momentum. So what do I mean by triple screen assessment? Basically, I like to keep terminology really simple. It's 3 time frames buy or 3 time frames sell. That's what it means. You either have 3 time frames lined up for a buy condition or 3 time frames lined up for a sell condition. All right. So triple screen assessment of order flow is the first powerful force that moves price. So when I say triple screen assessment of order flow, most people think about these order flow candles with all these numbers on the right, on the left, outside on the right, on the bottom left, on the top, upside down, inside out, and backwards. It is virtually impossible for your brain to calculate all this and make good trading decisions while the market's moving. And if the market's moving quick, there's no way you can do that. So what we did at Rightline is we came up with our own order flow candles. So our order flow candles look like this. Simple, no numbers. They're all hidden. Basically, if you have a green outline candle, the delta of that candle is positive. And if you have a red outline candle, means the delta of that candle is negative. So what does that really mean? Well, this is the way I look at it while I'm trading. If I'm looking to go long, I want all green outline candles. I want more buyers than sellers. And if I'm looking to go short, I want red outline candles. More sellers than buyers. Pretty simple. Keep it simple. The simpler, the better. So what do I mean by triple screen assessment of order flow? Means we want to see order flow going in the same direction on 3 time frames. So I put a screenshot of our charts because I wanted to show early on in the webinar what the charts look like. They're very clean. They're very easy to identify. All our indicators are represented by these colored lines. All right. So let's keep moving on. So the second most powerful force that moves price is triple screen assessment of the LIQUIDITY and our hybrid candles, which mean the wicks. So again, we want to see triple screen analysis, 3 time frames going in the same direction. So the wicks. So we're the only company that have the wicks inside the Renko bars because we want to see where price is, what's going on in the bar. So when you have a candle that opens from the previous candle's close, it goes up the tick brick size. The next candle is the same thing. The next candle the same thing. The next candle has a long wick. This is a pullback candle. And we use these pullback candles for our benefit. And I'll explain that to you a little bit later in the webinar. So the modified Laguerre is, we took all these indicators and we added an algorithm and we developed the modified Laguerre. So the modified Laguerre is an oscillator, but it's not like other oscillators. It doesn't show divergence. It only shows strength of trend. So when the modified Laguerre is on the bottom is this line oscillator, but the line above it is telling us what it's doing. So when it crosses below 20, it will turn red. When it crosses above 20, is sloping up, it will turn lime green. When it crosses over 80, it will turn dark green, and when it crosses below, sloping down, it will be orange. So ultimately, we want to see it pinned at 0 or pinned at 100. So we get our acceleration dots. Okay, now let's talk about the quant lines using our AI engine. And that's the third most powerful force that moves price. So what are our quant lines doing? They're examining 28 market components through our AI system for correlation. Now, most people understand correlation, but most people don't pay attention to it. But we do, because it's very powerful stuff. So if ES is going up, and for some reason, I don't know what happened to my symbols on these charts, but ES is going up, NQ is going up, YM is going up, and RTY is going up. That's powerful that all the markets are going up at the same time. But let's say ES is going down and all the other markets are going up. What do you think is going to happen to ES? Okay. ES is going to end up either stopping, going sideways, or following the market. I just need to make a quick note here. I need to fix this slide. Okay, so it's like the old saying, a rising tide floats all boats. Well, it's kind of the same. You know, if you're looking at energies, you want to see crude oil and natural gas and everything going in the same direction. So we decided that, you know what, 3 time frames in agreement is not going to give us the highest probability setups that we know that we're in a trend. So we developed an indicator called the C2 indicator, and that adds another time frame. So now we're not just trading 3 time frames in agreement, we're trading 4 time frames in agreement. Right? And all it does is just add another time frame. And the C2 indicator is represented by the stair-stepping line above the candles. Green going up, red going down. So let's put it all together. The money flow tracker trading system, the rules and the setups. First thing we want is a colored background. We know we have 3 times in agreement and we know what the bias is. The next thing we want is the C2 indicator above the charts. Right? C2, fix this one. Above the charts. The next one, we have well, we changed it from the trend line. We put a 21 period moving average instead of the trend line, but it's just the rules are the same. The trend line, the solid line has to be above the dot dash line going up and below going down. If you run into a pivot or higher time frame support or the VWAP or the open or whatever the obstruction that you might be trading into or away from, you must wait for 3/4 of the body of the candle to close above that obstruction. And then you must wait for a pullback candle. And I'll explain to you in a little bit why we wait for the pullback candle. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the questions box and we'll be more than happy to get to them. I know Rory's been answering a bunch of them. Okay, you want the quants. Now we have the short term and the long term. You want those in agreement. Okay, the multiple time frame Laguerre. Okay, you want that in agreement with the quants. Okay, and you want the modified Laguerre in agreement with all 3. So basically, you want everything below to be all green or all red, and you want the modified Laguerre to be pinned at 100 or pinned at 0 to get your acceleration dots. So this was the the trade setup. So this trade was 63 ticks. That's $630 per contract on crude oil. Pretty easy system, very easy rules. Either you have it set up or you don't. If you get it set up, you have to take it, period. So this is what I tell everybody. That trading with the money flow tracker rules will keep you out of choppy, non-trending markets, which usually lead to losses. And that's where most traders lose money. So when I have people that come into the room or people that I do a webinar with and they tell me, you know, I make money one day, I lose money the next day. I make money one day, I lose money the next day. And at the end of the week, I have nothing to show for it, all my hard work. So remember, if you don't have a setup, you can't take a trade. And it's okay not to trade every day. If the markets are not doing anything and they're just chopping sideways, how can you trade those markets? You can't. If you try to trade those markets, you'll lose money. I guarantee it. You will lose money that day. Unless you have a range that's big enough to trade it and it's within that range, yeah, I mean, that's doable. But when you have these narrow ranges that we've been having, very news driven, everything makes the market move, with tariffs, with China, with this, with that, with wars, everything. You know, if the market's not trending and you can't find a trending market, then just walk away. That's what we do. That's what I do. Okay, so here's a trade I took on CL. So look, came down, it broke these two pivots. I got a quick pullback here. I just couldn't place my order quick enough. Then I got another pullback. So I placed my order. I got 10 ticks on my first target, so that's $100. And then I exited when the dot dash line changed from red to yellow for another 55 ticks. So that ended up being a $650 trade, and it took less than a minute. So where could you make $650 in less than a minute? Unless you're doing something illegal. All right. So the money flow tracker software gives you clear and exact entries, clear and exact exits, and you get all the pre-configured ATMs as part of your package. So for coming here, I'm going to teach you how I trade breakouts with the money flow tracker software, and I call it my pullback and go strategy. So let me grab my pen. I'm using a writing tablet to draw my first attempt with this thing here. Okay, so let me go ahead and grab my pen here. Come on, where's my mouse? Oh, wait a minute. All right, grab the pen. Let's change it to a color here. Blue. Okay. So you can see here the market's coming down, coming down. There's a pivot. We break the pivot by 3/4 of the candle. Now what do? We get a pullback candle. So we want to see this candle pull back to here, about here, and then we place our order to sell on down close, right below here. So what happens? Why do we wait for this wick, this pullback candle? Well, because when markets break support and resistance, they often pull back and retest them. And what happens if this this came up, went up here, right? Closed up. If this candle closed up, this order automatically gets canceled and goes away. Period. Well, because what happens if the market's coming down, you get the pullback candle and the candle all of a sudden goes like that and closes up. Well, our order automatically gets canceled and we don't lose any money, but we don't make any money. So we gave ourselves an opportunity for the market to show its hand and show us what it's going to do. And in this case, it kept on going, but we far what do I want to say? We sidestep more losing trades than we miss a winning trade by using this strategy. Yeah, and sometimes we can't take the trade because we don't get the pullback candle in time. So let's keep moving. Here's an example on RTY. Broke the pivot, got the pullback, placed the order, first profit target, second profit target. Here's another one on CL. Here's two of them on the Canadian dollar. All right, so now let's talk about one of my favorite subjects, the money flow tracker auto trader strategy. It's called the revolutions, right? But we call it Revo for short. So what does it do? Well, it took this trade here for 704 ticks. It took this trade here for 665 ticks. It took this trade here for 1,016 ticks, right? So what does it do? Well, I'm going to show you basically what it does is it follows the rules. So let me open up the strategy and I'll explain that to you. So new strategy, right? I have a screenshot of this, but I can easier for me to show you on this. So let's just put this on here, it doesn't matter. So what were the rules we just went over? We want the bias in the C2, right? We turn it on. Now this doesn't wait for a pullback candle, so I have the signal being delayed by one candle. I want the whole candle to clear the pivot or whatever. We want the Laguerre red or green, so I turned it on. We want the multiple time frame Laguerre red or green, so I turned it on. The volume threshold I don't really worry about because MNQ uses plenty of volume. Let's see. Trades plenty of volume. We want all the 15 red or green. We want the 50 red or green. We want the MA diff. We don't trade the MA diff above 350, and I'll explain to you what the MA diff is in a little bit, right? And it's based off the trend line. We want to clear the volume zones. We want to clear the pivots. We want to clear the volume zones. We want the quants to be red or green. Now, the first target is very important. Why? Because this particular algorithm, if there isn't at least from here to here, at least 81 ticks, right? If there's not 81 ticks to this pivot, it won't take the trade. It'll skip it. It will wait until it clears and above the pivot to take the trade. So it won't trade into support or resistance. It waits till 3/4 of the candle breaks above, but like I said before, I have a one candle delay because I want to see the whole candle above it. Now, you can have it go on and go off whenever you want. You can set the time on it. It has built-in risk management. So we have lots of people to subscribe for the Money Flow Tracker software just for the Revolutions Auto Trader. Okay? Because they still have jobs, and this is what I tell them to do. I recommend. I don't tell anybody to do anything. Hold on a second. Let me get some water. I tell them to set it up with session profit of 1,000 and session loss limit of 500. So basically 2 to 1. Right? So either they're going to come home and there's either going to be no trade for the day, or they're going to make some money, or they're going to lose some money. But the track record on this is really good, so most of the time they make money. And it'll close the trade before the end of the day. So basically what this is, it's just following the rules that we just went over, all the rules. All right. Okay, those are the setup. So this is the equity curve for 2021 and 2022. I don't have 2023 because I lost all my data, but this was the equity curve for 2024. So the Revo made almost $44,000 last year, just the auto trader by itself. Pretty impressive. So let me see, where is my file here? Oh, here it is. So this was a trade that I took and I hit my first profit target really fast. So I turned on my recorder because I wanted to record it because I felt like this might be one of those monster trades. So as you can see, we got our first profit target, $80. It's kind of bouncing around here. I'm going to fast forward this. Right, so here we're up 252 ticks. Here we're up 348 ticks, 464 ticks. Now, if you look at this number in the top left-hand corner that says MA diff, you see it's at 414. Well, we don't trade above 350. So when it gets to be above 350, that's when I start trailing my stop closer to the market. And the higher the MA diff gets, the closer I trail it. So what the MA diff is doing is it's measuring how far away from the 50 are we. So you know that when you get too far away from the 50, it's the reversion to the mean, the proverbial reversion to the mean. So we expect when the MA diff gets too high, we expect a pullback candle within a couple bars. So let's keep moving on here. I'm up 530 ticks right here. Went down a little bit. Now I'm up 570 ticks. And I'm just keep moving my stop. I'm getting a different background color. So I'm out at 570 ticks. So if you trade 4 micros, take 2 off at $80. That's $1 a tick. $1 for 50 cents a tick times 2 is $1. So it's $80. And then 560 ticks on the second. That's $560 plus 80. That's $650 on this trade. And I didn't do anything except turn it on in the morning and let it do its thing. Does every trade be a winner? No. But it's a lot of times you get these big monster runs and it's a very large bar size, so it gives it a lot of room to move around, and you have to do that with MNQ. All right, so let me go ahead and get rid of this, and let's keep on moving. All right, now how to pass the evaluations. I know everybody thinks passing the evaluations is tough. And yes, it's been tough lately. The last few months have been tough. Market has been very, very choppy. Has nothing to do with your trading strategy. It has everything to do with what's between your ears. So what I tell everybody is focus on the process. Do not focus on the carrot. So I have 2 friends in the financial industry. I have one friend, my friend Steve works for a brokerage firm, and my friend John is a floor trader. So John and I were talking a lot, and I said, well, how do floor traders manage the trades? What do they do when they're this and that? He says, they only focus on their risk. I said, what do you mean? He said, they're not concerned so much on how much they can make. They're more concerned on how much they could lose. He says, and you know that most floor traders are only 40% win-loss rate? He said, but when they're in a losing trade, they manage their position to where their losses are very small and their winners are really big, right? So what I tell everybody is focus on trading well. Just focus on what you're doing. Focus on your system. Focus on your setups. I don't agree with people that say, I just need to make $200 a day, right? I don't like that thought process. And here's the reason why. It puts too much pressure on you. I look at my progress at the end of the week or at the end of the month. Because what happens if you get a day that's really choppy and you're saying in the back of your head, you're saying to yourself, I really need to make my $200 a day. This trade's kind of iffy, but if I don't take it, I don't have a chance to make my money. And that's the wrong way to think about it. So does it matter if you made 1,000 a week, 200 a day, or you made one day 500 and one day 400 and next day 100? Doesn't matter. You're still getting what you want, but just because it's what you want doesn't mean the market's going to give it to you that day, right? So what I say is if you focus on trading well, the profits will take care of themselves. The challenges or evaluations or whatever your firm calls them, warriors or gladiators or whatever, are really designed to make you fail because of the parameters they put in place. Like one is how many trading days to pass. And the second one is the trailing drawdown, which is the biggest one. Most people blow out their trailing drawdown. So, if you think that, you sign up at Apex or Buell Knox or any one of these firms and you sign up for a 50K account, you're not trading 50K. All right. You're not trading $50,000 account. The way I look at it is my account size is my drawdown. So if I have a $2,500 drawdown, then that's what my account size is, and that's what I protect. So my process is that I don't risk any more than 10% of my drawdown on any one trade, which means if I'm trading MNQ, I can't trade NQ, I have to trade MNQ and 6 micros, and it keeps me within my risk management. So I put this chart up here because it shows what you need to be a profitable trader as far as your win-loss rate and your risk reward and your risk profile. So if you're a one-to-one trader, you need to be at least 60% profitable, at least 60% to be making money. If you're a 2-to-1 trader, it drops drastically, which means you could be wrong 6 out of 10 trades and still make money. And if you're a 3-to-1 trader, which I'm close to 3-to-1 trader, I could be wrong 7 out of 10 times and still make money. But let that think again. Most professional traders are only 40% profitable. All right. So rather than avoid risk, take intelligent risk, and it will give you that competitive edge. Just like this little mouse. Now, he sees that piece of cheese, or she, I don't know, and he wants to get that piece of cheese, but he's aware of what could happen. So what does he do? He puts on his helmet in case he gets hit in the head with that big spring. That's intelligent risk. So now you have two choices. I've showed you everything about the money flow tracker software. I've showed you my trade results, and most of my trade results are pretty much room results. So you have two options. If you're making money and you're doing well, then God bless you and keep doing what you're doing. But for most of you, I would do the second option. Take action today and join the thousands of traders that we work basically about 2 hours a day from home, and we have no boss and we have total financial freedom. And if I don't want to trade one day, I don't have to, but I have to because I'm the moderator of the trade room. So the money flow tracker trading system, the benefits and features. And I'm sorry, my PowerPoint's a little messed up. I have to go back and fix all this stuff. Easy to learn. The workspace are very intuitive. It's perfect for beginners. It's perfect for any account size. You can trade futures, forex, stocks, options, cryptos, whatever you want with it. So for the first 10 traders that come aboard, we have some powerful additional software plus more, right? So for the first 10 traders that come aboard, you will get the market scanner. So this is my market scanner because we use Renko bars. So we trade different bar sizes on different instruments. So like gold, we trade on a 410-20 bar. So it says flat, so I don't even need to look at it. NQ, we trade on an 820 bar. It's flat, so we don't need to look at it. So this is just a guide to help you to, if you were trading on this bar size on ES, you would just go look at the chart and see if you have a setup. It doesn't mean that you have a setup, it just means go look at it. So this is the $9.99 value, you'll get this as part of your package. You get the NDT. Now this is what we use to execute our trades with, buy on up close, sell on down close. This is where your ATM goes. This is a $14.99 value. You'll get this as part of your package. You get the masterclass series on futures, forex, stocks, and options. Okay, I've watched these and they're very, very good. You get 1 month of my trade room. Now my our trade rooms were done a part of a study by this Dr. Allen. And in his study, he reviewed more than 225 trading websites and evaluated them using several factors, including transparency, proven track record, and assisting traders with the educational materials and online support, and we came out on top. And this was published in Traders World and Stock and Commodity Magazine. And we're really proud of this because we do our best to help traders. We're here to help traders. Traders helping traders. That's what I always say. So this is our special deal that we're doing. We're doing a 50% off across the board on all our subscriptions and our lifetime. So if you want to do a quarterly, it normally was $11.94, it's $5.97. If you want to do it annually, it was normally $23.94, 50% of that is $11.97, less than $100 a month. And the lifetime normally was $39.94 and it's now $19.97. And you have to use coupon code 50, save 50%. So if you go to your GoToWebinar, it's not even in there. Let me go ahead and get that up there really quick. Sorry for the delay here. I don't know why you didn't put it in there. Okay, trading, right line, money flow tracker. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and post this in here. Copy. Oh, he just put it in there. I must have shamed him. There's a link in there. When you click on that link, it brings you up to this web page. Right? Just scroll down here if you want to sign up for an annual. I don't know why this is saying 25%. That's not right. That's not right. That's not what we're doing. You click on sign up. I'll have him fix this. It's not even, Brock, it's not even showing the discount. I know you have to put it in, now you have to put it, say 50. It should be 50%, not 25%. Okay, so it gave me the discount. All right, so just put the save 50 in there and it'll give you the discount, $11.97. So you'll get the money flow tracker, you'll get everything installed by Charles, you'll get the auto trader, you'll get the NDT, you'll get the masterclass series, and you get 1 month in the trade room. So if you go to the website and it says money flow tracker, that's for everybody else, not for you guys. Where is it? Yeah, just click on sign up and put in the coupon code save 50%, all one word. I put it in here before. I just wanted to make sure it's working, 50%, and apply coupon. Get rid of this stupid thing. And it gave you the 50% off. And when you renew next year in 2026, we're going to keep you at the same price that you paid this year. Okay? So you're getting another 25% off than anybody else would get. Okay. All right, let's keep moving on. So my commitment to you is that when you subscribe to the Money Flow Tracker software, is not to help you become, is to help you become a successful trader. Remember, if you're not successful, it's not your fault. Again, if you're not successful, it's not your fault. You're just not using the right tools to be successful. So an analogy that I use all the time is, because it makes a lot of sense and most people can understand it, is trying to pound a nail in a piece of wood with a screwdriver. Yeah, if you hit it long enough, you'll get it in. But if you use the right tool, a hammer, and you hit that nail 4, 5, 6 times, or 2 times, it'll be in. So the Money Flow Tracker software is totally unique and will give you the edge to trade with the institutional order flow. So my commitment to you is to teach you not just about how to read the setups. The setups is the easiest part, but help you develop that mental mindset you must have in order to achieve financial independence. So if you have any more questions, if you'd like to speak with us, if you put your name and your phone number in the questions box, either myself or Rory will give you a call after the webinar, and you can ask as many questions as you want, and you can do your purchase over the phone if you like, either way. Alrighty? So look, it's a well-known fact that 95 to 98% of day traders and swing traders are losing money. Just like this guy here. He's a retail trader. What's he doing? He's losing money. He might as well just flush his money down the toilet, right? But not our traders. Our traders are making money. Why? Because when the retail trader is flushing his money, who's taking his money? Institutional traders. My friend Steve, that works for a brokerage firm, he says, we love retail traders. I said, why? He said, because if they open up an account, let's say with $5,000 or $10,000, we know that money's going to be gone within a few weeks or a month, right? But our traders are making money because we trade with institutional order flow. So again, quarterly subscription is $597. A yearly subscription is $1197. And a one-time lifetime subscription, and the only difference between the quarterly and the annually and the lifetime is the lifetime you get 3 months in my trade room, and the annually and the quarterly you only get 1 month. Okay, so this is a reel of a whole bunch of our clients and traders and whatever that are really successful. But this particular woman, she wanted to learn how to be a trader. She has a friend that's in my trade room. She asked him to teach her how to trade, and he told her, well, I'd rather you contact Mark. I said, because what happens if you're losing money and this and that? And he didn't really feel like he wanted to be responsible for that. So anyways, so she did. She contacted Mark, and Mark took her underneath his wing and sat her down in front of a computer, taught her the setups, and she did that for 4 months. Well, to make a long story short, after about 7 or 8 months trading with the Money Flow Tracker software, now she's a 6-figure trader, and she doesn't trade every day either. If she doesn't have a setup, she doesn't take the trade. All right, let me see, what did I skip over here? This was a post that Barry, some guy named Barry, he's in my trade room. I don't remember what his last name is. And he put this testimonial in, and it says here, I've been trading for over 25 years. Right? I can honestly say the Money Flow Tracker system was one of the smartest tools I've ever added to my toolbox. The layout of a single chart gives me everything I need at a glance. And honestly, this is one of the reasons that drew me to the software, because I don't need to look at 5 different charts. One chart gives me everything I needed. This was a email wrote into Rightline about me. This was a gentleman, I call him David P. He's in my trade room. He was in a webinar just like you are, and he said to me that he sends me a message in the questions box, I am the world's worst trader, but I really like what you're doing here, and if I purchase, will you help me? So I said, sure. All right, well, to make a long story short, right here, I started watching David's room every morning, learned his trading methodology, and more important, his rules for trading. We only take specific setups. When we follow the rules, we have about a 70% win rate. I have 7 accounts at Apex and 7 accounts at Buellnox. Well, now he has 20 accounts at Apex, 10 accounts at Buellnox, and a couple of accounts in some other places. I know he's got some at Top Step or whatever. Then he goes on and writes, the Money Flow Tracker software, along with David's methodology for rules of trading, allow me to act like a robot and eliminate any guesswork or emotions from my trading. We use a trading tool called the NDT, which I already showed you guys, which allows us a single push button to enter the trade when we see the correct setup, following the rules. So every day he looks at it as simple. If he sees the setup, he pushes the button. Sees the setup, push the button. Sees the setup, push the button. Then a couple weeks ago, he sent me a message in the room questions box, and he wrote here, $4,265 trading only 4 accounts. I can ring the bell, and he left the room, and he's quit for the day. And it was only 10:36. So in an hour and 6 minutes, he made $4,265. So again, this is what our offer is. Remember, you have to use coupon code SAVE50, the %, all one word. Okay? And I do encourage you, if you have any questions, put your name and your phone number in the questions box, and either myself or Rory will give you a call after the webinar, and you can ask as many questions as you'd like. That's it. I got to fix all these slides. Something I don't like this. That's it. Anybody have any questions? Nobody? Oh, Rory's saying to me, he says, I want you to welcome Rob, Claudia, Tim, Hugo, Akshak, sorry. Welcome to the Money Flow Tracker software, you guys. I really look forward to working with you in the trade room, and I'm sure you'll be very happy with the software. I know that I have been, and I've been using it for 4.5 years. It works on NinjaTrader. And yeah, it works on NinjaTrader. All right. Any other questions? If you don't have the link, first of all, you'll get a recording of this be sent out to you either later this evening or in the morning. If you don't have the link, it's really easy. All you need to do is go to Right Line Trading. Right. I can't type. Or you can go to Right Line Trading. Just scroll down here, Money Flow Tracker, learn more, brings you to the Money Flow Tracker page. Right? Believe me, I have plenty of people that wrote in testimonials, plenty of people that use Trustpilot. Look here, I'm a member of David Kushner's room, and I like all of the Right Line teachers has but I mean, I don't want to read all these, but look, I trade in David Kushner, we make a lot of money. You know, I know all these people, and each one of them have become great traders by themselves. So I look forward to. We do have a Thinkorswim hybrid, basically Money Flow Tracker and Thinkorswim. It's a little bit different, but David, you know that. Anyway, all right. Have a great evening. I appreciate everybody listening to my presentation. I look forward to working with all the new people and other people that want to sign up. So, and I leave my webinars with this. When it comes to trading, it's not where you start, it's how you finish. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you've been trading for a few years and you're still struggling, well, you know what? This might just be your finish line. I know for me, like I said, I haven't used anything else in 4.5 years of trading. Why would I? I'm making money with this. I don't look at anything else. I have some other systems that I trade sometimes, but I don't usually look at anything else. Just the Money Flow Tracker software. And it's been, like I said, 4.5 years, and I've been doing very well with it. The best that I've ever done in my trading career. So I'm going to leave you with that. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon, depending on where you're at. And God bless everybody. Good night. Take care. Bye.